want to tell a story. And this is a story that I've been told for years that I should say or tell. So I think I'm comfortable enough to say it. About first from Detroit. So that's where the story is taking place. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and around, I want to say 6 or 7. I want to say around that age, because I think I was just in maybe second grade or something like that, first or second grade. Anyway, around that age, and we were on our way to pick my grandmother up from work. And if you've ever been to Detroit or know Detroit, anything about the weather, this happened in the wintertime. I do not know exactly what month. I just know it happened in the wintertime. And it was in the wintertime where the snow plowed, the trucks were out. And we were driving and one of the snow plow trucks hit us. Completely totaled the car. My mom's leg was turned in. And my sister Shireen, she had glass, and she still has some scars to this day, but she had glass from when the glass shattered from the impact embedded in her face. So her and my mom ended up having to go to the hospital. But even before that, when we got into the accident, a snowplow hit us from the side. When the commotion of people and emergency trucks and all that stuff is coming, pulling us out, and they're trying to get my mom out of the car because they had to cut her out. One of my cousins ended up having to drive past and recognize the car and stuff. So he comes over. Once it's stated that he is related to us, that we end up getting put, me and my baby sister end up getting put in his car. My mom and middle sister end up going to the hospital. My mom for her leg, my sister for her face. My dad gets arrested because he doesn't have his license. So we end up going to my cousin's house. When we're at my cousin's house, it's just usual. We go watch TV and he's asking us if we're okay and stuff like that. I told him that I had glass in my clothes from the impact. I had glass from my clothes from the impact. I needed to go to the bathroom. So he told me, he was like, come in the room, I'll check you out. I didn't think nothing of it because, it's just normal. But when we got into the room and he took my clothes off to check and see if I had any glass on me, anything. Yes, baby. You hurt. You hurt. Go watch TV in the front room. But he took my clothes off to check and see if I had any glass. When I was completely naked and all the glass was off of me and stuff like that, I was finna ready to put my clothes back on, but he told me to lay down. He needed to check and make sure there wasn't no glass in between my legs. I told him that there wasn't, but he told me to lay down anyway. So when I laid down, he ended up getting on top of me. You can pretty much guess from there what happened. He penetrated and was there for a while, and shit hurt like fuck. I cried. I told him to stop. He told me to relax, and then he got up. When I found out later, side note, that what he did was he started to enter, and when I screamed out in so much pain, he pulled out, but he entered again. He did it. He had started to enter my vagina, but when it hurt so bad, he took it out and he put it in my butt. I went to the bathroom and he cleaned me off. I went back in the front room and watched TV with my baby sister. I don't remember how I felt afterwards. I do know that I knew what he did wasn't right. I don't remember exactly how I felt. A little while afterwards, his mom came home, and she took all of us to the hospital. She went to go see my mama. When I saw my grandma in the waiting room, I went and told her. I was like, Grandma he was messing with me at the house, and I didn't like it. And she was like, well, baby, tell him don't mess with you no more. If you don't like him messing with you, tell him don't mess with you no more. And it's like, okay. I went to finish playing with my sister. Went to go see Shireen, played with her. She got to come home. So we ended up going back to their house because my grandmama stayed with my mom. They dropped my aunt. My cousin dropped us off at back at her house. Kevin wasn't there when we got back. So she fixed us something to eat, I think she fixed. I don't remember what happened in that point. I just remember she was there for a while. He came back and she left. When she left, he asked me shortly after if I wanted to come in the room and play. First, I was like, no, I don't want to play. And he was like, come on, I got some new toys and stuff like that. I don't remember how old he was, but I do know he was older than me, but not much older than me. That's what I remember. I don't remember exactly how old he was or how much older than me he was. I just remember he was older than me. So it was a game that he had that we went in there and we played. Somehow, I remember, I think he started wrestling with me, and then he laid me back down on the bed. When I grabbed him, I told my grandma, I said, don't mess with me. I told her that you was messing with me. She said, don't mess with me. It was like, I told you not to tell nobody. He said, besides, you see, that she not gonna do nothing. All she gonna do is just tell you they're not gonna do nothing because I'm older. And he did it again. I do remember at some point, I think my sisters walked in because he got up quick and wiped me down. And when I got up, my sisters was right there. Yeah, my baby sister, she had to use the bathroom. So he told me, he was like, go take your sister to use the bathroom. Y'all go use the bathroom. And I remember Shireen asked me, she was like, what y'all doing? I was like, I don't know. I was like, you guys bathroom? She said, yeah. I took them to use the bathroom. We went back to the front room, watched TV, and that was that day. I've never told nobody, and detail. For one, I couldn't remember. I blocked so much of it out when I was younger. Exactly what happened. I didn't tell. Like I said, we moved out of Detroit when I was around 10. I think around 12, 11 or 12 is when I finally told my mom. And I never remember thinking about it up until I think I had a dream or something. I never thought about it up until one night. And I was just sitting in the room crying. Because I guess the realization of what had actually happened to me when I was younger was actually what had happened. Like I said, I didn't think about it. It was just like, this shit just, the realization of what happened to me was there. And I was crying. I was just sitting in the room crying. It was at night, so I'm crying. I'm not thinking nobody up. My mom was walking around the house, and she heard me crying, and she came in there. I was wrong. As soon as she asked, I just blurted it out. Told her that he had touched me when we were younger, and the look on my mom's face, I'll never forget. It was a mixture of like hurt and murderous. No, I'm gonna hurt your sister. No, you can't play with Play-Doh. It's now. It was between hurt and murderous. Like I've never seen that look before. I never seen it again. But like that look on her face, just your nasty face. You just got your nasty face. The look on her face was just, and she asked a little bit of details. And she told me, she was like, it's okay. You safe now. Just go ahead and go to sleep and we'll talk more about it. The next day she asked, because I had just started remembering, and then I didn't want to talk about it. So a lot of details I knew and I remember. I didn't say because I didn't want to talk about it. And she put me in counseling. I did counseling for like two months. I would do it before school sometimes, and on the weekends sometimes. But they recorded my statement and what happened or whatever. I never asked my mom what happened with that. I never asked my cousin what happened with that. So with that story, some odd years later, like, this is You know that saying that they say, females who are raped when they're younger, they either shy away from sexing men or they become very promiscuous. Yeah, I became very promiscuous. Um, I did a lot of things that I'm not going to state on the video, but just I did a lot of things, and I had a nigga mentality. Like, you weren't finna play me, and I did what I guess what a lot of dudes do to females. A lot of people who I hung around with, especially in high school, um, they used to say I was the nigga out of the group, and all the girls that we hung around with or whatever. But through that, um, being exposed to sex so early, I was aware of it more, even through elementary school, middle school. Will I blame that on some of the things that I've done? No, I won't. It just introduced it to me a whole lot earlier. And so, some things, yeah, some things, no. About 16, 17, I got a phone call from my mom telling me that that this cousin had died. He got into a car accident and hit a pole or something like that. And I guess he died on impact or something like that. I didn't ask the details, but that was a challenging emotional state to be through, especially being so young, because I'm really family oriented. So I lost a cousin, but the man who raped me, who changed my childhood, he was dead. So that was a bunch of things, because I also had questions that would never get answered. It was just a lot. It was a lot with that, to deal with that. I'm saying this story simply on the strength for some other little girl or little boy who something has happened to along those lines. Because for a long time I thought that I did something wrong. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I did wrong, but I thought I did something wrong. Because, not jealous that it didn't happen to my sisters, but it was like, what did I do? Why me? You get what I'm saying? I'm happy that it did not fucking happen to my sisters, do not get me wrong. But it was, at a child state, being as young as I was, these are thoughts that happened when he died. Like, why me? What the fuck did I do? Like, I barely remember him. I talked to his mom recently. I have not talked to her in years. But I had to ask her what kind of guy he was. All I remember of this dude is that day. I don't remember him being mean or nasty. But I mean, what he did was mean and nasty, but you get what I'm saying? But I blocked so much of those years to block that shit. But if you've gone through this, talk to somebody. Let somebody know, because one, it can happen to somebody else by the same person, and so you can be saving somebody else the turmoil that you've gone through. Two, I've talked to people who've hurt themselves because of the thoughts of, what did I do? Am I nasty? I'm dirty because this happened to me. And I don't ever want nobody to think like that. I don't ever want nobody to feel like that. After all that and the promiscuousness that I went through, I met my husband at 18. We've been together ever since. Got married, got 3 kids. Very happy. So you may be feeling now at a point where like nothing is ever going to get better. That you're always going to feel and be like, just feel this nasty on your inside. Baby, it's not. You're not going to always feel like that. But you're going to have to release some of that, and you're going to have to talk to somebody. Because if you hold that shit in and you bottle that shit in, that shit is going to eat you. And not everybody that comes out of being raped, especially at such a young age, come out of it like that. You get what I'm saying? So talk. Don't hold that in. Let somebody know what happened. Let somebody help you. I wish that I would have said something a whole lot sooner when we still stayed in Michigan, because more action could have been taken on what happened, because we were all the way in Alabama when I finally told my mom. I don't know if he still stayed in Detroit. I can't remember. But, that's almost 8 years or so in 2 different parts of the U.S. So I wish that I would have said something a whole lot sooner. Please, don't hold that in. If this video and my story can help anybody, I've done my part with being this open. So, yeah. Bye.